Lions are second in the Ivy League in offensive boards per game, and they again capitalize with Raffew setting up her fellow senior Paige. Paige slashing through the heart of the Harvard defense. The extra pass out to Avliash. And Glenbello had the rebound. Weiss is there, and Glenbello with the denial before she deflects it out of play to prevent a wide open opportunity. Here's Wright, one-on-one on Raffew. The scoop shot off the mark. Jones the follow, and you could count that. Plus the harm, she'll go to the line to complete the three-point play. Glenbello off the pump, has an alley, one-on-one at Veldrapa, finishes with the left. And just like that, it's a two-point affair. Paige in and out of traffic, spots up Avliash for a three, and that rolls her way, and Columbia ends a 6-0 Harvard run, plus a 4.5-minute scoring drought. Krupa dumping it off to the cutting White, blocked by Broom, swatted away by Raffew, as the Lions putting down the defensive clamps.
And two seniors obviously can do it at a very high level.
Raffew gets her hand in the passing lane, stops, pops, and lays it in, as Columbia's defense wreaking havoc against Harvard, and it's a 7-point advantage. She leads the Ivy League in total offensive rebounds, 99 coming into this game. Weiss leads Columbia and the Ivy League in made threes, and that is number 75 plus a foul, in hurting their chances at getting an at-large bid. Paige with another steal and a clear path to the bucket to give her double figures with 10. Columbia at 43. Speaking of backdoor cuts, Henderson with the alley-oop to Paige, who finishes with a nifty maneuver. As Aubrey Shaw in for the first time for the Crimson. A great look for Avliash. Nothing but net for Maria. And it is a 14-point lead for Columbia, with Avliash knocking down her second triple. In January, that brought them back, and it's not going to start here early, with Raffew and Paige connecting for the third time. Right off the pump. Blocked by Raffew. 4 on the shot clock. Can White get it up? The feed inside to Wright, and she gets it off right before it would have been a shot clock violation. Kicks it out to Henderson with 8 on the shot clock. Back to Raffew. Goes reverse, and that is beautiful half-court textbook basketball. But Harvard has only scored 3 points off of these mishaps. White inside to Jones, and another and one opportunity for the first-year guard. Yeah, they put their own spin on this year's team. Carly White unable to push it through, and there to clean it up is Hollensteiner. And it is an 8-0 run in the last minute and a half, and Harvard is within single digits. Weiss leaves it for Simmons, and they're able to connect from an underneath angle over Harvard because they've been pounding it inside. White left all alone and banks it in for a triple. Just the second make for Harvard, and they have closed it to 5. And you put your hands up just like Jordan shrugged against the Blazers. White off the pump, finds the clear path, and Carly White is coming to life, and Harvard is putting every ounce of effort into this comeback. Wright, down low to White, spins and lays it in. Carly White has 7 straight points for the Crimson. Jones with 7 seconds. It opens up and parts like the Red Sea, and she says thank you very much, to tie the game at 51 at the end of the third quarter. And look at the energy off the bench from Harvard. Olivia Jones, this is no first year, more like an upperclassman maneuver. We got a new bowl game with 10 minutes to go. Weiss with Hollensteiner on her hip, and it makes no difference as we're tied again. Riley just 2 of 10 from the field. And she comes up with a crafty defensive takeaway. Off the crossover, too hard, Veldrapa there, and the Lions are back in front. And a timeout taken by Harvard. The energy shifting possession to possession here in New York City. 3 on the shot clock. And Krupa finds an alley to again tie this game. It is a slugfest in New York City. Henderson underneath, dishes it to Page, blocked from behind by Hollensteiner. It's going to be a shot clock violation, and it's a scoring drought of over 2 minutes for Columbia. Carly White is putting Harvard on her shoulders. Back to the bucket on Avliash, and it is a clinic for the junior. The big stage is nothing for her, and Harvard now with its largest lead. Thanks to this lady. White finds space. It's a Carly White out for the Crimson, and it's a 5-point lead for Harvard on the road. Henderson tries to stuff it in the lane to Avliash, and White off to the races. 2-on-2 break, and how about Weiss hustling back to deny Krupa underneath? And then Henderson takes her eyes off the basketball, and it rolls out of play. Krupa hands off to White with 7 on the shot clock. White dishes it in the corner to Glenn Bello. Krupa wins the battle with Page. Hands off to Glenn Bello, who lays it in, and Harvard pads the lead. They have had their way with the Lions in these last few minutes. Henderson going coast to coast, and a quick, much-needed bucket for Columbia. Weiss beyond the three-point line, blocked by White, into the hands of Hollensteiner, and a foul committed by Columbia as the Crimson has completely shut down Columbia's offense in the final 2 quarters. Harvard dropping back. It's broken up by Hollensteiner, and Harvard continues to be a thorn in the side of Columbia. They beat them twice in the Ivy League tournament, and they now cost the Lions a shot at the Ivy League crown, as well as the #1 seed in Ivy Madness. A huge win on the road to close out the regular season, 68-64.